without affecting the price to the consumer too much. The price consumer is still within the 90 shilling per pack, per 2 kilo pack bracket. However, the government at the same time has announced an intention to sell maize at NCPB, and this is now where the issue is. They have announced an intention to sell the maize at NCPB to create space so that they can be able to absorb the SFR maize. We, UGMA, have been made to understand that there are some big millers who sold their maize during the subsidy period to the government, and they were never paid. And now they have entered a secret arrangement with the government to be given the maize at NCPB at shillings 1,600. Instead of being paid for the money they are owed, they will be given maize. And they are negotiating to be given 1.7 million bags. This we take it like they are being given free of charge, and we take it like it's going to lead to another scam. Because if the maize is now going at 2,600 and they are given at 1,600, there's a difference of 1,000 shillings. And if they are going to be given 1.7 million bags, the government is going to lose 1.7 billion shillings. Just 1.7 million bags times 1,000 overpay is going to lead to a loss to the government of 1.7 billion shillings. And that scam is probably going to lead to some of those big millers going to bed with some guys in the government and share that money. What will happen to the market is that these big millers will take that maize and depress the market to eliminate small millers. So the small millers will be disadvantaged, the market will be distorted, and the small millers will be sidelined. And small millers in this country take 70% of the maize milled in Kenya. So instead of them being given the priority and their citizens growing the small industry the government is targeting within the big four, they are going to kill those small millers. Now, we want to ask the government to stop interfering with the market forces in the maize industry. 1. 2, we are going to propose to the government to let the millers at large buy the maize at NCPB, even at market price, because they were intending to sell that maize to the small millers. But now they can sell to all millers, and that money they will get, they can pay the big millers. Instead of giving big millers maize, they give them what they owe them in terms of cash to cash. Otherwise, they'll never be able to eliminate this tendency and temptation to enter into secret deals and losing the taxpayer money. So that is the issue now. And I stop there, and I don't know, my vice chairman, I give it to him to comment, and then I attract questions after Mr. Protect comment.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the place. I think the chairman has Okay, I think Chairman has basically spoken on what we had, but just to under it through, I think we have said again and again that the government should leave this business of maize. You will agree with me, for the past 2 months, when the government was so mum on the issue of maize, everybody was happy. The farmers and even actually started selling maize to us millers. But immediately when this announcement was done, everybody has decided to retain these stocks to sell to the government. Now, when we talk of 2,500, basically we are talking of 2,500 mainly from the North Lift. So as a miller in Nairobi, you need to earn some other costs, like of the transport, around 200. So very soon, very, very soon, and this is a bit hard, you may find the price of unga going up. You may find the price of unga going up. I heard the president saying that he does not expect the price of unga to change. But with the kind of things that are going at the Ministry of Agriculture, then it might be very handy for us small millers to be able to break even. When you give this maize at 16, and on the other hand, you've distorted the market price, you said you're going to buy at 25, what you are saying, you are telling us small millers buy at 25, as we give these guys their refund with the maize costing 1,600 a bag. We need a level playing ground. All of us, we are in business, and I think, as the chair has said, the best thing is for the big millers to wait for their money to be paid. Otherwise, this one is going to distort the market of unga in a very serious way. The president recently said we've been having a bumper harvest, which is very true. And I would feel for consumers that even after having such a surplus in this country of maize, unga would still go up if it has to go up. It would be very sad and very hard for us as millers to explain to the consumers why this unga would go up. So we just want to urge the government, please leave this sector alone. I think it can manage itself comfortably. The farmer would be happy, the processor would be happy, and the consumer would be happy. But once they start coming up with these issues, we are buying, you are selling, well, I think things won't be the same. So I think with that, I don't have anything else to say. Maybe our...
Okay. Any questions from press? Yes? Okay, we didn't say that the big millers are going to buy the maize at 1,600. The correct situation is that the government is owing those 3 or 4 millers money from the subsidy time. Yeah, no, no, not all 8 millers. They are only about 3, the one who are owed. Now the government want to pay those people with the maize. Instead of, they're not buying, the government want to pay those millers with the maize. Now the government has gone and made a secret agreement with those guys that they value the bag of maize at 1,600 to compensate those big farmers. You see, they are undervaluing, so that they can pay them, they can give them more maize than they could have given. Because if them, you remember it was 2,300, the maize was 2,300 at subsidy. Now, if they add a value and give them at 1,600, they are going to give them more value than what they are owed. So we are saying, don't give them informal maize. Give them cash for cash what they owe you. Sell the maize to the market, get the cash and pay the farmers, pay the millers. Are we together? If the government sells the maize to all the millers, everybody, including us, at 1,600, it will have an effect to reduce the price per packet for the consumer down. You understand? But of course, you know the farmers on the other side are complaining that if you do that, the price at a farm will go down, the farmers will lose. But once the government has announced now that you'll pay the farmer 2,500 shillings per bag, that already has an effect of driving the price up from 1,600 upwards. Then they cannot give anyone a compensation at 1,600.
So how much does most millers pay for an 80 kilogram bag from this maize at SFR?
At the moment, all millers are buying from a farm.
From SFR, maize from SFR.
The maize from SFR is not for sale. Maize from SFR is for storage in case of drought and famine. So the maize that the government wants to dispose is what was stored during the subsidy.
Oh, yeah, so you need to make that clarification. What they are releasing is not coming from SFR.
Yeah.
It's what had been imported under the subsidy.
Yeah. And the cabinet had passed a resolution before to sell the same maize at 2,300 to the market. And now, and they wanted to pay the farmer 2,300 at the same time. Now they have increased to pay the farmer 2,500.
How many bags are there?
Technically, it should be 2 million bags because they want to take 2 million bags and they want to create a space for 2 million bags. Technically, there should be 2 million bags. But they are working out that these millers, at 1,600, they will be paid 1.7 million bags. 1.7 million bags at opportunity loss of 1,000 shillings per bag works out to 1.7 billion. Already before, you remember the time of the subsidy, there was a scam because the people who were importing outside the window, they were already operating illegally. They were already importing illegally. Already there was a scam, and now there's going to be another scam.
What is the source of this information?
Just one query. What is the source of the information? The millers have agreed with which department of the government? The government. They have agreed with who? And how do you came to know about it?
Okay, that is probably the important question to know, because sometimes people have information even before the information comes to the press. If we do not release this information to you now, which has come to us as privileged operators in industry, then after it happens, it will be too late. So now we are releasing this confidential information to you, and you can confirm it because we have confirmed it with the ministry. You can confirm it.
So the millers have entered into an agreement with the ministry?
Those, not all millers, those millers who were owed money by the government, they have entered a private agreement illegally or under the table. Because this is not documented yet. But yet now they are ready to take this maize.
How does that bother you?
It distorts the market because, as millers, if some people are getting at 1,600 and we are buying at 2,000, those big millers will put everybody else out of business. They'll dump the product. And then small millers who are building the industry and employ people who are now going to be buying at 2,600 from the open market, they'll never be able to compete. You're giving these guys upper hand, you're giving them advantage, they're getting maize at illegal prices. Because once this information does come out to the media, this government will not agree. This government will withdraw from trying to distort the market. Yes?
Chairman, is it right now to say that the small millers are calling upon the government not to pay, not to give maize to the millers, not to pay through maize as maize,
Yes.
but pay them cash?
Yes.
That is exactly the point. We are calling the government to stop entering into a deal with those small millers, with those big millers, to give them maize which is undervalued. We want them to be given the cash. And the cash will come from the same maize they are going to be given, which we shall buy. And the government will pay them cash. Because once they give them cash, it will be cash to cash. If they owe them a billion bob, they'll give them a billion bob. But now, if they now give them this maize at this price, they'll be given equivalent to 1.7 billion instead of what they actually owed before. They'll be giving them an unfair advantage.
So you're willing to buy the maize from the government, and at what price are you willing to buy it?
We're willing to buy the maize from the government at market prices or in the price we shall agree with the government, because it will be now free for all millers at the same. It will be free, fair playing ground for everyone. We have been telling the government for a long time, sell this maize, create space so you can buy more maize so that the maize in the NCPB is aging. The government should not be storing that maize. They should be offloading that maize to the market. Otherwise, eventually they'll destroy it.
I'm sure you know that government processes are slow, and it may take ages before they release the 2.3 billion that is called funding. And the more the government delays in releasing those funds, taxpayers are paying interest on the same.
Yes.
So don't you think that it's right they just pay through maize and to save taxpayers from paying the accruing interest?
They still could pay through maize if that maize was sold to them at market price, not depressed price. The government makes more money by selling that maize at a market price rather than giving them at a depressed price. But it is more equal in business to give value for value. Understand? If you owe me money, I'll pay you your money back. But if I pay you by a kind, that kind should be evaluated to be equal to the money. Not to give you something much more expensive for the same little money that I owe you. Are we in understanding of that point? Answer that one.
President Uhuru Kenyatta said that we're expecting a bumper harvest of about 46 million bags. They'll buy 2 million bags, meaning there'll be around 44 million bags in the market. I don't know why do we always scramble for the nikio that goes to NCPB as compared to taking advantage of what is already in the market? There'll be 44 million bags in the market.
Okay, what we are saying here is, basically we are not so much interested with that maize of national cereals and produce board. That's not our interest. Our interest is, even if the maize is there for national cereals and if they sell at the current market price, forget about the 1600, we'll be comfortable. The only big problem that we have is one. You cannot give big millers at 16, while you've left the other side, you've distorted the market, you've taken it to 25. What are you saying? You are saying the big millers to benefit, while we small millers, we go for the one of 25, 2600. Okay? Looking at the capacity, small millers, we have capacity. We have 70%. My brother here asked a question. So even in these 1600, basically the big millers, these are premium brands. So you'll find that they won't go out of Nairobi. So what about the other places? If we have to reach the common mwananchi, the Wanjiko down there, we can only reach them through us. When you talk of these premium brands, you know very well in Nairobi, Thika, Machakos, and they are done. So all what we are saying, we are not scrambling for that. And actually even before the government announced the issue of this maize, actually the market and stabilized completely. And the issue of maize was like chini ya maji, unless ile ilikuwa kwa ministry. But now they have come up, they have distorted the market again. The last time when we were here, we said that actually the farmers don't want to sell maize to us because they are waiting for the government. And it reached a point whereby the farmers now decided, let's now start selling to the millers. Now, what have they done again after the announcement? They have withheld their stocks. So basically, we are not actually going to NCPB, and of course, even the safety of this maize, we are not very sure. Or what we are saying, kindly let the government refrain from interfering with the issues of this field of the market, of the maize.
So basically what you're saying is the government setting the price interferes with.
Exactly, exactly. I've just given you an example. They have set it at 25, okay? So I, as a miller from Nairobi, if I go to Northlift, I get at 25. Don't forget there is also a transport element that I have to earn. So by the time that maize is landing in Nairobi, it's landing with around 2700. So what do you expect me to do? Of course, I have to adjust my prices. If I've been getting maize between 16 and 18, now I'm getting at 26, 27. I have no choice. I pass it to the consumer. So these are our concerns. And it's hard to try and convince the consumer that at bei ya mahindi inaenda juu ya unga, when actually there is a lot of maize. So it puts us into clash with the consumers. So what we are saying, let the government just achane na hii mambo ya mahindi and let the forces drive itself, the market forces.
And to close this issue, we need to state that we have tried very hard to look for the CS so that we can discuss this issue and sort it out. But it looks like the CS has been so busy that he's not been able to give us appointment. We were supposed to meet him yesterday, and then again we were supposed to meet him today. Now we are hoping that we shall meet him tomorrow. He said that he'll give us an invitation to meet him tomorrow. But you know, it goes on and then the market gets spoiled, so we cannot wait anymore. But we want to go to whoever it takes. Even if we go to the president, we shall go to the president and tell him that this must stop. There must be fair playing ground on the maize industry so that everybody can operate in fairness.
What you're meaning is that what the Vice Chair just said, since the announcement by President Kenyatta, there have been, you witnessed a decline in supply.
Yes.
So you're not getting enough maize.
We are not getting enough maize.
Farmers, do you get it from farmers or from traders?
Okay, from traders, but you know, so those traders are getting it from farmers.
So who is holding?
The farmer, of course, the farmer is...
No, the farmers are hoping to be paid 2,500 by the government. So now they're not in the hurry to sell to the market because they are speculating. See, but if you offer the farmer 2,500, he'll give you. But then when you add your transport cost to Nairobi, you'll not be able to sell that unga because you got maize at a higher price than other people.
So what is your estimation, price increase estimation? If you are to buy it, take an example like what the Vice Chair is saying. Buy it from thirikari at 25, factor in the transport cost. Maybe by the time it lands in Nairobi, it's
27,
7 or
28.
What
If you are buying the maize based by the subsidy price at 2,300, you are able to give the meat to the consumer at 90 bob. So if you are buying that maize at 2,700, without just simple business calculation, you'll probably be able to give that maize at 110. So the consumer will start now crying and protesting for an increase of food cost. And that's what we're avoiding. We don't want food protests.
So your projections are that the prices of flour are likely to rise to...
I'm not projecting. I'm just saying that market forces, when the price of maize goes up, the price of uga goes up. You remember last year before the subsidy, the maize had gone up, the maize meal had gone up to 170 shilling a packet. Because we were getting the maize about 3,000. 4,000. It was going to 3,600 to 4,000. So it was going out to 170 to 200, and consumers were not able to afford it. They were crying. Now that the government is trying to control the maize at about 2,500, the price will be between 90 to 100. The consumer is able to absorb that, 90 to 100. But once it goes above 110, they start crying.
Could it that maybe the president was not well advised when he announced the price of 2,500?
No. President was properly briefed because, you know, I'm a member of the task force. I'm privileged to be a member of the task force, so I can state with authority that a task force had determined a price of 2,600. So actually the president modulated to 2,500.
Any more questions? Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. We appreciate the support you have given us as a press, and we do hope that every time we have got an issue, we shall push it to the public through you. And we hope that if you have any questions outside there, and you want information regarding the maize business, you can always contact officials of the United Grain Millers Association. This is Lucy Muthoni. She's our secretary of the executive. She was held up because she was coming from Kayara side. She was held up in a jam. Thank you, Lucy, for coming. Yes.
Thank you.
So we had finished, Lucy. I don't know if you want to meet anyone, say anything. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, I think some of you have met Lucy, isn't it? Lucy Muthoni. Anyone want to fire any question to her? No. Okay, so.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Agatha will coordinate this forum for you. So Agatha. Sijui wote mnajua Agatha nani? Okay, mnajua. Sawa.